Welcome in mains concept mapping, wherein we shall learn how to approach a question, and the name of the program is Approach to Mains. Approach to Mains. Myself, Rajeev Chaudhary, Associate Member of Indian Institute of Public Administration. Today's theme is Introduction to Public Administration. It is the Unit 1 of Paper 1. It's a large unit. Let us take up one question and then let us try to identify the requirement, the answer, and to write that answer, what are the things you are supposed to know. So the question is, with every major transformation in the applied world of public administration, the study of public administration has grown in scope and its intensity. And in this perspective, the demand of the question is to discuss relationship between evolution of the discipline public administration and the profession of public administration. Because howsoever the discipline has evolved, accordingly the practitioners, the administrators, are supposed to work out, to implement the objectives. Herein some important requirements are there, like you need to know what are the major transformations in course of development of public administration as a discipline since days of Wilson. What are those major phases are there wherein the public administration changed, that is transformation. And with the course of transformation, the public administration has grown in its area of work and its intensity. So let us try to find out first of all what could be the answer, because herein it is also willing to know about the phases of development. So since the day of its inception, that is 1887, Wilson. The primary concern of public administration was to ensure efficiency and effectiveness, because Wilson was there to propose politics-administration dichotomy, wherein the specific responsibility of public administration was there to implement the policies effectively. So the primary concern of public administration since day of its start was to ensure efficiency and effectiveness in the management of government operations. So those public policies should be effectively implemented. And in course of that, it specifically focused on bureaucracy, because that was the means to implement. It focused upon the specialization. In course of whole, we discuss it, division of work, so that effectiveness could be generated, and with the repeated tasks being performed, efficiency could be also generated. And herein it is efficiency also. By the means of efficiency, the effectiveness will increase. So specialization is the another one, and formalization, that everything will happen on the basis of the formal structure, and classical approach is there to propose the formal structure of the organization. So since the day of its start, the public administration took the leap, started doing things in the perspective of efficiency and effectiveness. Gradually, public administration evolved and gained maturity. So with its maturity, bigger issues, larger issues evolved, and that there was concern for the effectiveness which must fulfill the needs of the people. So issues like relationship between government and society, whatever the government is doing is implementing for the development of people. Now it is not just effective implementation, it had the concern of the development of people also. So the relationship between government and society became larger concern. Role of public values and ethics. It should not just be effective implementation, it should be moralistic also. And in course of that, the ethical behavior of the bureaucracy also needs to be important. Improvement of democratic accountability have been focused. So these are the areas gradually with the maturity of public administration, it focused upon these. So by these inclusions we find that there is expansion. So there is this expansion of the scope had profound impact upon the profession, because with the change of this effectiveness and concern for the society and relationship between government and society, there was requirement that the practitioners, the administrators must accommodate their functions in accordance with the objective of public administration. And so they started recognizing citizens' engagement, people participation, social equity, the most important thing that evolved with the new public administration, and public participation. So these happen to be the major areas which, with the change in the objectives of the public administration and the maturity gained, required the inclusions. And in today's perspective, we find that the study of public administration encompasses wide range of topics. That has increased the scope of public administration as a discipline. And then we find that organizational theories, public policies, relation with political science, economics, law, and many more. All those are the need of the day, and public administration has further evolved, and all those have made it interdisciplinary. Robert Dahl is the person to say that comparative public administration is the condition wherein such advocacy has been made. And then we find that with the interdisciplinary approach, further the developed profession fostering more holistic understanding. It is not only effectiveness, but with fulfillment of the concern of the people in the perspective of service delivery. And all those evolved the holistic approach. Now, in course of all these, making things effective and introducing some modern techniques, we find techniques like total quality management, TQM, Lean Six Sigma, CPM, PERT. All these have influenced the mechanism of the functioning of management, administration of the government, and the operations being performed by the organization. Here we find that with the development of technology, information and technology, those technological inductions are also there, and e-governance happens to be one of the most important induction. So there is increased use of technology in all respect of administration and management. And we find that with the increased use of technology also has improved the efficiency of public administration in course of service delivery, which is the ultimate objective. So we find that the service delivery of the government has also improved, and therein modern management techniques have been inducted in the process of development and has further increased the scope of public administration and has also influenced the public administration as profession. And so we find that in recent past, the discipline of public administration has been shaped by many new challenges, and that is further to increase the scope of public administration. And those new challenges and trends are globalization, technological innovations, environment sustainability, and many more. Gender equity, ethnic crisis, epidemics, lot of things, all those have been included in it, and that has happened in the recent past. So these challenges led to evolve new theories. So in the perspective of new theories, we find that there are developments of post-NPM theories. These new theories are there like post-Weberian theories. All these are the new inductions. So these challenges, those have emerged, they are numerous, endless. Therein, the challenges of these have led to development of something new to cope up the recent need, recent requirement, and new theories and practices of public administration have come up. And as a profession, the public administration also has adopted all such changes. And therein we find that the focus, larger focus, is there on cross-sector collaboration, innovation, sustainability. So all these are the new things, those have evolved, and the profession has adopted all those. So based upon these, overall, the relationship between the evolution of public administration as a discipline and as a profession of public administration is one of the continuous phenomena, and there is continuous feedback from the public administration as profession, and accordingly those have been adopted with the induction of new theories. So as new theories and practices emerge due to the challenges, administration as discipline evolves with the new theory, those are adopted by the profession, and accordingly the feedback is there. So there is a circular and continuous process wherein improvement happens, and it always tries to fulfill the requirement of the present time. So as new theories and practices emerge in the field of public administration, the profession also adopts those. So that adaptation of the such changes are there, and in turn we find that the profession's experiences and feedback leads to the evolution of discipline, and there is reciprocal relation between the public administration as a discipline and as a profession. And therein we find that the public administration has grown up. The public administration has grown up and the scope has also increased, and that has brought intensity. that has increased intensity in public administration. So the relationship between its evolution and profession has improved. Now that is the answer. Now the question arises, to write this answer, there is a requirement to have concept of public administration. We are here in the unit 1, that is Introduction to Public Administration. And therein there is need to know the major transformations specifically. Those have evolved in public administration. So those major transformations in public administration. So since day of its inception, it was traditional public administration. 1887, Wilson, with politics administration dichotomy. And thereafter, when the TPA could not be able to perform its task effectively, and then there were two important accidents, rather to say three. First World War, economic depression, and then Second World War. So things evolved in the perspective in between that is known as comparative public administration. These two could not be able to bring much changes and attainment of objective. And so in 70s, there was new public administration. Now that is one of the major transitions, wherein the classical approach, effectiveness and efficiency that was there advocated, got changed into new values that got introduced by new public administration. And social equity, relevance, value-laden approaches came up. So that transformation is there. With this change and adoption of new thing in public administration, the area of scope increased and the responsibility of the practitioners also. So that therein we find the growth is there. Thereafter, there was globalization. For the reason of globalization, marketization increased. And then again, there was a transformation in the objective of public administration and the process of doing things. The objective was good of people, but the mechanism got changed and priority was given to market. So there was new public management in 90s and onward evolved. Now that is another transformation in the process of doing things that was required to be adopted, accommodated by the professionals of public administration. And thereafter, when the marketization became so prominent, another school of thought increased, evolved in public administration. And therein we find that reaction against the marketization was there, and the postmodernism, also to say post-NPM notions evolved. And therein we find that the reaction against Weber was there, that we study as post-Weberian models, and one of them is new Weberian model state, which happens to be opposite of the thought of Weber. And then public service approach, public value approach. Herein, marketization got compromised, advocated to be reduced. With the marketization, there is a need of state which could be able to take care of the delivery being made effectively to the people. So that service to people has been given more importance. And again, herein we find from the NPA to the postmodernism, there is transformation. And that is there with a strong state and market debate. So marketization is one of the mechanisms to bring efficiency, but there must be a strong state which could be able to control the market. Now that is the concept based upon which previously we have counted the transformation, based upon which the scope of public administration has discipline also increased, and the profession also needs to accommodate and has grown. And in course of all these, the ultimate objective of public administration is concept of good governance. That is ensuring good of people, and in course of that, the role of market and state and people also is there. And then herein, in course of this, we have the concept of civil society. Now, in course of discussion, conditions of good governance, this also has been felt that perfect design of good governance, if not is not being able to be attained, then to the extent it is possible should be attained, and that is concept of good enough governance. Now these are the areas as concept. The need is there to know about all these and then to approach the answer that we have referred in the previous discussion. And then the answer that we have evolved could be written with conviction. So therein, to write an answer, what are the areas those are required to be covered, I have tried to explain you. And then based upon those, there could be some probable questions like what are the major transformations that have taken place in the applied world of public administration in recent times. Now, whatever the transformations have happened, what are the significance of those? There could be a question on this like how has the role of technology impacted the applied world of public administration? Examine the challenges and opportunities presented by technological advancement, and herein e-governance happens to be important reference. Now regarding the technological use and the e-governance and its impact upon different areas of functions to generate effectiveness and ensure service delivery. So that citizen charter is one of the examples. Now those are the background, those are required to be known, based upon which the answer could be evolved. Globalization has had a profound impact on the applied world of public administration, and discuss the implications of globalization on public administration which with specific reference to the developing countries, and herein we could have the conditions and reference of India. Similarly, there could be a question in recent years there has been a growing emphasis on collaborative government and citizen participation in public decision making. So that now this collaborative governance and citizens participation in public decision making are the areas wherein you need to go through and have the knowledge based upon which the answer could be written, and discuss the implications of these trends for the applied world of public administration. So these are some of the probable questions, those could be there. And if that discussion is extended, then herein you also need to have the glimpse of the scope of public administration as a discipline, and those post-core, POCCC, then narrow approach, wider approach, post-core Gulick, subject matter view, idealistic or welfare view, comparative, contemporary, all these are the areas those are supposed to be studied, and that is there as discipline, and then the activity that the public administration happens to be a basis of government. It is one of the tool in the hands of the government to implement the objectives. Volume of activities depend on the people's assumption, expectations by the government, welfare state, good governance. These are the areas based upon which the answer of that 150 words could be written. Thank you.